Speaking of cutting edge, my good friend, Sean Anstey, president of Cloud Data Corporation, subsidiary of Microelectronics Technology. Sean, you are the resident geek. Could you imagine if you were at the tip of the spear in the year 2000 and you were the head of Verizon Wireless when cell phones were coming out? How great would that have been?
What a time to be making money hand over fist,
Boy,
for sure.
I'll tell you.
Charge what you like.
Well, you guys are kind of in that same position too, and the point I'm trying to make is, and that's cloud computing. Of course, Microelectronics Technology is the parent company to Cloud Data Corporation. Their stock symbol MELY. You can go to clouddatacorp.com. And for information on the stock, you can go to Mely landing page. I think it's MELYlandingpage.com, if I'm not mistaken. We'll show that up in a second here. But clouddatacorp.com, you are a cloud computing company. You're the only guy, Sean, in the history of this 15-year radio program that has been able to successfully define the cloud for knuckleheads like me and Russ T. Nails. So,
fantastic.
Once again, and what he said was, hey, if you got Gmail, if you use the internet for your email,
you're going to the cloud.
You're in the cloud. It was as simple as that. Let's review a couple of things for the folks that are just hearing about Cloud Data Corporation and MELY. Your general market here is any business that makes use of a cloud. What you're doing is you're allowing them to be in the business without going to the build the infrastructure themselves. In other words, you are the infrastructure for hire, so to speak, correct?
That's right. We provide cloud infrastructure so they have instant scalability and all the security and all the bells and whistles that most companies can't afford or don't know how to do. When they come into our organization, we're able to take care of them and give them an infrastructure where they can scale. And so they deploy their applications or their software, whatever you have, and up they go.
Yeah, once again, your business model is sort of one that builds along with the customer's needs. In fact, we just showed up for our radio audience. We just showed a screen on there for our television audience, and it really gives your customers a choice of sort of what server they want. They can have a pro server for as little as $417 a month, and a plus server for as low as $177 a month, and that's really it's really modifiable based upon your needs. Correct?
Absolutely, yeah. The Dynamo server line is totally modifiable, and it's a great little product line, and customers really quite like it. And they're able to basically hone in exactly what they want. We can put it in place for them and help manage it for them and give them all the infrastructure they need for it.
Let's talk about dynamoservers.com. It's another website that you guys operate there. By the way, Microelectronics Technology is the parent company, and of course, MELY is their stock symbol, and we're talking about clouddatacorp.com. Let's talk about the Dynamo Servers site. Tell us sort of the genesis of that and how that relates to the rest of your business model.
Sure. Well, Dynamo Servers, it's the core to the rest of our cloud offering. We build our Sprock product we talked about before, and the rest of our cloud applications built off of our Dynamo Servers infrastructure. So we have the Dynamo Servers, which are selling currently, and we're building the infrastructure based off of sales. We have it deployed in Vancouver, Canada right now. We have wheels in motion to deploy in Chicago and a few other places as well as we scale out and give our customers that sort of geodiversity where they can be in multiple countries and scale that way.
The scalable thing keeps coming up. I don't think. Well, let me tell you why.
Scalable.
It means that if as you grow, as your needs grow, they
plug in a new panel over
that
there.
hasn't really happened in the cloud computing business. I did some research on this week, Sean, and the scalability has always been the problem with your industry so far. Is that nobody could keep up with it? Correct?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's a huge ocean of opportunity. And for example, we signed the Weather City. We mentioned that a few weeks back, and they're doing 3 million page views, and they're going to be doing 30 million page views. And in terms of bandwidth and traffic, we're growing right along beside them.
Listen, I can't tell you
revenue right with it.
How many emails we got last week asking about Weather City when we talked about it on the air with you guys. Suddenly you guys are putting other companies on the map. I think that's important to talk about. I do want to talk about that Weather City's press release and of course clouddata.com. All one word is their website. I beg your pardon. Clouddatacorp.com. It's up there on the screen there, guys. Put it up there for me and for our audience on radio. I'll put that out on Twitter. But clouddatacorp.com is the website, and I also want you to look at dynamoservers.com. More of Sean. Sean, I want to talk about that Weather City stuff when we get back from the break. I'm going to talk about your infrastructure when we get back from the break. And I think it's important to talk about the general cloud computing market and where it's going over the next couple of months. Sean Anstey, president of Cloud Data Corp.
I picked up a hint of Canadian there.
He is. He has a hint of Canadian. He hints Canadian.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk hockey when we come back then.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
that's right. That doesn't pigeonhole him at all, does it?
Not at all.
MELY is the stock symbol. CloudDataCorp.com is the website. With us, Sean Anstey. Sean Anstey is the president of Cloud Data Corporation. You go to CloudDataCorp.com. That's their website. Also, they are a wholly owned subsidiary of Mely, M-E-L-Y is a stock symbol, microelectronics technology. You can go to melylanding.com to find more about the stock. But part of our small caps are people, too. You know, you guys, Sean, you've expanded your programming team. You got a lot of high-end talent. That's one of the reasons you moved to Vancouver, to be near the talent. Does your team continue to be scalable like your business model?
Yeah, for sure. We can definitely scale our team around. We take access to the clouds. We can hire people on from all over the country and North America. We try to keep a high quality of kind of persons we want to bring in. Mm-hmm. We're very, very select because we have very, very specialized people, and they want to be around high-quality individuals themselves. And so we prefer to have not a huge team, but a really, really good team.
You know, the Weather City press release, I brought that up in the past, but that's a pretty big deal here. You know, for a company like Weather City, who provides weather forecasts to 62,000 cities in 121 countries, for them to go to you guys, I think is not only great for business, but in my mind, as a guy looking out, that's got to be a vote of confidence for you guys, Sean.
Big vote of confidence, and the team is very excited to have them come on board, and we have a good relationship with them, and we're going to grow right alongside with them. They're going to expand to 2 million cities next year, and that's in their plans. We know that that's part of it, and we're going to scale right along with it, and that includes the billing for that extra bandwidth and all the capacity that they're going to need. You know,
one of the things and I know you guys have to be careful as a public company, but can you talk about kind of the next big thing for you? Weather City was a huge deal. I know you guys are constantly out there fielding interest. I know a lot of the deals come to you. Is there any lack of business for you guys? Is there plenty of proposals to put out and plenty of work to look for in this industry now?
Absolutely. We have a lot of requests coming in all the time. There's a huge market for it. You look at all the different kinds of apps and web application software that's going out there, all the different stuff that's going online. All these companies need infrastructure. And Vancouver and Seattle, this whole West Coast area here is a real hotbed for that kind of action. And there's definitely a lot of activity going on there. We had mentioned in the past, October 15th, that's when we're rolling out our fully automated billing system for Dynamo. And that'll be part of our cornerstone for Sprock, and that's going to allow us to actually do some more aggressive marketing. Because
people will choose you guys because of your automatic billing system that's in place. People will choose you.
That'll make it easy to turn sales over, that's for sure. We can definitely do it the right way. But in terms of actual activity, I mean, it's a huge market scope. I mean, the cloud is projected to be like $240 billion in terms of market size just a few years from now. It's absolutely astronomical in terms of its size. Okay, let me ask you something very quickly before I let you out of here, since you are technical. You know, he not only is the president of Cloud Data Corporation, but he's also a cast member now on the Big Biz Show. Whether you like it or not, Sean, you're a resident techie.
We'll have questions.
Face for radio. There you go.
I said techie, not tech geek. But tell me something. Do you think the second wave of cloud server or cloud business models hasn't even arrived yet? Everything I read tells me that you guys are at the tip of the spear, but there might be something bigger coming to where we may not even have laptop computers anymore. Everything might be existing up in the cloud. Is that consistent? Is that consistent with what you're hearing?
Absolutely, that's very consistent. This is the sort of the almost internet version 3.0, as it were. This is the next big wave where everything's moving on to the cloud. And it's going to be like that for a number of years, and it's a huge push. And there's this very simple reason for it, because it makes it very easy for the end user to do things, and companies know that. For me, from where I'm standing, I think that if you're B2B now, could you imagine if you guys went from you're business to business right now? Could you imagine how big the business and how big the industry would be, Sean, if suddenly cloud computing went from business to business to consumer? If Joe Sixpack at home didn't have any of his data on his home computer,
that's got to be coming.
If he didn't have any of his, I mean, we're already using iCloud, right? I mean, isn't that a pretty good example of how it's
a very good example for sure, and that's definitely the way the industry is going, and they're pushing very hard for it. You can basically have an operating system within your browser, and you don't need a lot to get online. You have your data stored securely online. You just simply need a web browser. You're using your password, and you're in with all your applications, and off you go. So that's definitely the way of the future, and it's the size of that scope is just huge.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot to be said for the way you guys are handling it, Sean. I think you're the right guy. I think for most of us who look at companies like yours, as we bet on the jockey, not the horse, and that's why you're the lead guy there. Sean Anstey, president of Cloud Data Corp, wholly owned subsidiary of Mely Corp. That's Microelectronics Technology. Stock symbol MELY. I want you to go to clouddatacorp.com. I'm going to talk Sean into coming into town next week and he can hang out with us.